Hello and welcome to Cash Reviews. In today's video, we're taking a look at the TOPDON TB6000Pro Smart Battery Charger and Tester. This is a feature-packed battery charger and tester, and I'm going to show you what this thing looks like and what its capabilities are. Before we get into taking a look at this though, I want to say that if you're going to buy this, I have it linked down below, and I would appreciate if you click through that link. There, you might be able to find coupons, and it also helps support me and this channel. Now let's go ahead and unbox this thing and show you what this is all about. Opening up the box here, the first thing that you see is that charger and tester front and center. Now this thing is actually relatively small compared to other battery chargers that I've had, which is pretty nice. It's nice and compact here, doesn't take up too much space. From a basic construction standpoint, you have the actual unit here, which has the controls and electronics to charge your battery. You have a wall plug, so you could plug this thing straight into the wall. You have some alligator clips that you could put directly onto the battery you're trying to charge. And this here disconnects and it allows you to plug this tender on if you're going to use this thing as a battery tender rather than a charger. Now, this charger has several different modes and it can charge several different kinds of batteries, which is awesome. The highest output mode is 12 volt 6 amp. So 6 amp is the highest amount of current that this thing is going to put out to charge a battery. This charger could charge several different types of batteries, which is great. So you don't have to get one for, say, an AGM battery, a different one for a wet cell battery, or a different one for a lithium ion battery. This could charge all of those. It also has low amp output mode, so you could try to repair old batteries if they're having trouble charging. But instead of just talking about it, let's show you what this thing could actually do, and let's go ahead and charge up a battery. Alright, first thing we're going to do is go ahead and connect the alligator clips to the terminals on the battery. And right now, even without this thing being connected to power, it is reading the voltage of the battery. Now I'll go ahead and plug this in. And this is a 12 volt standard battery. So we're going to get 12 volt normal up on screen. Double tap, it'll lock it in and it should start charging. Right now it's claiming that this is at 25% charge and it should go ahead and start charging here. Right now the amps are ramping up slowly. This thing started at 0.6 amps and now we're going up. We're at 1.5. Those should keep climbing and this battery should start charging. Now this is in the most basic mode, just with the charger hooked up, and I should be able to connect my phone to this with Bluetooth and get a more advanced readout of what's happening here. While this is charging here, I'm going to go ahead and connect on my Bluetooth app. We're going to go ahead and download the TB6000Pro app. Click on that Bluetooth and then just connect to this device here. And as you can see, it shows that this is charging, but let's see what else we could see within this app. Let's go ahead and do a battery test. Alright, so we still have our alligator clips all set up here. It says this is going to check the health of the battery. It's going to show us the cold cranking amps, state of health, voltage, state of charge, internal resistance, and more. It does say that this only works on 12 volt lead acid batteries, but this is what we have here, so it should work. Again, we're all set up here, and let's go ahead and do this test. Battery type, this is a regular flooded battery. Battery standard, cold cranking amps. Battery rating is 660. We're going to go ahead and click next and see what it does. Claiming that this battery is no good and needs to be replaced. Now, one interesting thing here that I'm looking at is it says the state of charge is 77% on this report from the phone, but over here on the device it says it's 50%. Let's go ahead and do a quick charge. I guess it's as simple as this. We have our charging mode, 12 volt normal battery. We're going to go ahead and start charging. It does look like we could also schedule a charging time if we wanted to set this up to charge later in the day or something like that, so that's pretty interesting. And we're not going to go on manual mode, so we're just going to go ahead, start charging. And this should give us our report as we go. I'm going to turn voltage on there too, so we have both reports. So right here it's showing the step of charging that it's at. So as you can see, the amps are creeping up and the volts are also creeping up as expected. Again, in that middle there is when this thing's going to be charging the fastest, and then it's going to ramp down once we get up to maximum capacity of this battery. Alright, right now we've been charging for about 2 hours and 45 minutes and we're up to 65% charged according to this. It's still displaying the amperage and the voltage there, and right now we're on charging step 6. It does display where you are along this chart right there, and again right now we're right there, so the amperage is going to start to taper down and we should be getting closer to being wrapped up. Alright, so we're back down here. It's been about 7 hours since I started this thing charging, and it says we're at 90%. We could go in here and click on the graphs just to see how everything's doing. And as you could see, the battery level's at about 90%. We've been charging for almost 7 hours. Currently, it's used 310.5 watt hours, and again, this is a lead acid battery, so it's showing us that. It's on step 8 of the 9 charging steps here, so we're wrapping up, and this thing is almost done. Alright, now it's been about 11 hours. This thing is not charging anymore and the battery is at 100%. So I'm going to go ahead, click stop charging. Even though it looks like we're at 100%, I'm still just going to stop this. And now I'm going to go ahead and do a test and see if anything's changed. Go ahead, battery test. That's all still correct. And now it says the state of health is at 90%, the state of charge is at 100%, and we're in good shape. I will do this again tomorrow after this battery has sat for a while and just see what it says. Alright, it's the next day now, so let's go ahead and hook up the terminals. And then we'll go ahead and test this thing. Right now I'm just seeing if I could test it without actually having this charger plugged in. And the answer is yes, and this is actually showing basically the same thing as we saw yesterday, which is pretty cool that you could test these batteries right after they've been charged and you don't have to wait. Alright, next up here we have a few small AGM Power Sport batteries, and this one has a maximum charge rate of 2.7 amps, which if I could get this to focus, I'll show you. Right there, 2.7 amps. So I'm going to go over here, open up our app, we're going to do quick charge, and you could set up a manual mode. So I'm going to go over here, open up the app, and do manual mode. Now this is an AGM battery, but it's still a lead acid battery. We're going to go ahead and keep the maximum voltage at 14.2, but we're going to drop the amps down. Just to show you, I'm going to put this at 2 here. We're going to name this Power Sport. And then I'm going to go ahead and confirm that. We'll select that and then do start charging. Alright, so with this specific battery, it actually wouldn't charge. I did expect it to not charge because I thought this battery was bad, but I put it on the 9-step charging, and the voltage did go up. It did get up to a little bit over 12, but it wouldn't really take a full charge. And over here, when I was trying to run a battery test, it says the voltage is too low. So this battery is bad, and the repair mode did not work on it. But of course, if a battery is truly bad, that charger can't just magically fix it. Anyway, now let's go ahead and do the other tests that this device could do. So we're going to do a charging test and a cranking test, which involves you actually going over to your car and testing it there. Alright, first thing I'll go ahead and do here is go ahead and just connect this charger and tester to the battery. Right there we're reading 12.5 volts, so this battery is a good battery. It's a pretty fresh battery in here, but anyway, I'm just going to do a normal battery test first. And as expected, it does say that this is in good condition here. Now we're going to go ahead and do the charging test. To do this, again, you need to have those alligator clips set up. Click next. Now we're going to start the vehicle, turn off all the electronics, and then we're going to turn on all of the electronics. Now it says to go ahead and turn off all the electronics, which I did, so I'm going to go ahead and click confirm. It says keep all electronics off and increase the engine speed to 2500 RPM and hold it there, then press confirm. Now it says turn on all the electronics, so I'll go ahead and do that. I'm going to press confirm. And as we can see, it spits out a report here and it says we're charging at normal voltage. It has a no load and a load voltage. Those voltages should be about the same. And then it also gives this ripple number, which I'll explain on screen. Now we'll go ahead and do the cranking test. All that's involved with this one is turning off all of the electronics, which I did. And and it says we have good cranking voltage. Alright guys, so with those tests, that's going to wrap up this video. I do think that this charger is a valuable tool for charging a wide range of batteries and having a lot of control over how you charge those batteries. And I also think that this is a valuable tool for diagnosing your charging system. So if your battery isn't charging, you could check if your battery itself is bad. This will help you diagnose if your alternator's bad, if your battery's not charging. And overall, this is just a pretty nice tool to have in your arsenal. Again, if you're interested in buying one of these chargers, I have this link down below, and I appreciate you clicking through those links as it helps support me in the channel. Don't forget to like this video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe for more, and I hope you stick around for the next one. Take care.